Pac-12 football here at pregame.tv on Saturday. We've got USC and Washington doing battle. Same place the Seahawks play, by the way, as Husky Stadium is renovated for the rest of the year. But anyway, USC opened 13.5. They are down to 11.5. The total sitting at 54. And Marco, that USC-Utah game, the most recent game by the Trojans, was an absolute mismatch after USC got done stumbling and bumbling their way to a 14-0 deficit. They end up winning the game 38-28. They don't cover, as they really didn't care down the stretch up 17 and gave up that backdoor cover to Utah Ute reserves. But the bottom line is, if you looked over from the start of the second quarter through the final gun, USC in that game gained 401 yards on nearly 10 yards per play. If they don't stumble and fumble their way early in that game, that's probably about a 45-7 type of contest.
Scott, that really looks like it's the buy sign for Southern Cal. I mean, this team had the bad game. They lost to Stanford, the one team they can't seem to get over the hump against. And, they know in their minds, if they run the table, and that includes a big game with Oregon later in the season, they can get themselves back in the mix, because all of these teams are losing in the top 10, and you've got teams, 4 of the top 10 teams play each other in the next 2 weeks. So there's going to be some other teams that are going to get a loss, so they can get themselves back in the national championship picture.
And Bryan, I've enjoyed Washington Husky games this year. 3-0 went against them when they traveled and played at LSU, came on them on that Thursday night game against Stanford, and then went on Oregon last Saturday night. The Oregon Ducks get the win and cover 52-21. And it's been a tale, and that breaks it down right there, their season. It's a tale of 2 Husky defenses. When they go on the road, they've been getting beat up. Of course, the competition's been pretty stiff. When they come home, they played well, completely just clinching down and squashing that Stanford offense on that Thursday night. But again, the thing that bothers me about backing Washington against a team like USC is that their offense itself is also pedestrian.
Yeah, USC's got a couple extra days to prepare too, because they're coming off that Thursday game. Sure. And Washington really just played that one good game against Stanford, and we've learned since then that Stanford's a little bit pedestrian offensively. So I'm not buying into the Washington defense being all that great. And I just want to clear something up, Marco. Husky Stadium was not named after us.
Well, they have a different name. Oh wait, I'll go. Anyway, the battle between USC and Washington is my free pick. Almost said something that would have these two guys hating me more than they already do. But anyway, this game is my free pick, and I'm looking at laying the points with USC. It's gone from 13.5 down to 11.5 as we talk about this one. And Washington quarterback Keith Price. It's funny how I hear a lot of people sometimes, not bettors, but I'll hear certain radio shows around the country that'll talk about the so-called dual threat quarterback of Keith Price. He's not a dual threat quarterback. The guy can't run. Jake Locker was able to run. Keith Price cannot. And he's not passing well when he steps up in level of competition. Against LSU, Stanford, and Oregon, he hit about 53% of his passes, a little bit less than that. How about a 4.6 yards per pass attempt average and just 1 touchdown, 4 picks, sacked 8 times by those 3 teams. As Marco said, when I pointed out and we talked about what USC did against Utah, and Bryan pointed out that they've had a couple of extra days to practice, I think it's buy time on USC. I think it's a buy low time on USC right now, and my suggestion is to lay the points with the USC Trojans. More college football, more NFL all weekend long right here at pregame.tv.